views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
The following audio is via a Skype call.
Power comes from an inner knowing, inner joy, inner awareness, inner freedom, and a higher power. The Art of Powerful Living Radio with Robert Schoenfeld is here to inspire every human to live lives that are rich, fulfilling, on purpose, and fun. Get ready to take this journey and discover the power of joy in all aspects of life. This show is life transforming. You will hear Dr. Pat and Robert discuss topics on joy, love, art, and expanding our minds to what's possible. Join Dr. Pat Basile and Robert Schoenfeld in the Art of Powerful Living Radio, starting right now.
Hey everybody, welcome. It's so great to have all of you tune us in and turn us on. It's really great to be connecting with all of you today. You know, let's just call it Eclipse Plus One. Today, I get to talk with Robert about the art of powerful living, but especially about the art of powerful love. For many of you, you're familiar with Robert, his artwork, but you know, you also know he is an incredible author. He brings messages of powerful living, powerful love, joy to the world. And today, we're going to take you on a journey to see what it means to step out into the world, to be fully expressed when it comes to joy, to show up and be all that we can be. But what is it about this idea of love? You know, can we fully express who we are and what we're about in the world we live in today? But more importantly, how can we look at our lives and know that we can truly be love? Robert is a fantastic artist, but more importantly, he is a messenger, you know, the ambassador of joy and someone out in the world that is helping countless people show up fully present in the name of powerful living. Robert, it's great to have you here.
Thank you, Dr. Pat. Wonderful to be here.
So today, you know, this is part of the Powerful Living series. And so today we're looking at the art of powerful love in the presence of this. So let's start the conversation to talk about love. What is it? What isn't it? And then tell folks what you have behind you right there.
Okay, first, let's go ahead and start with the painting. This is one of my new works. I have a whole new style that I've developed. And it's nice because, you know, what we're all about in this new life, this new time, is really, like you said, Dr. Pat, feeling and living our full expression. So the title of my paintings now are Vita, which in Italian, as you well know, means life. And so all the colors I choose are colors that have life and love and vitality in them. And it's all about conveying a feeling so that when you look at one of my paintings, there's an upliftment, a feeling of love, of joy, of beauty, and of grace. So that's basically my focus there as far as making it a visual. But you brought up a very, very good point.
Yeah.
Oh, and love. What if, Dr. Pat, love is all there is? You know, we talk about the other side, whether it be stress or lack or wars or political disagreement. What if love is all there is in the universe? And when we look at stress and sickness and things like that, that's just love vibrating at a very low level. And feelings like joy and grace and gratitude and kindness and exhilaration are just love vibrating at a very high level. So if that's the case, Dr. Pat, why don't we take this gauge and move it from where it might be over here with the lack and stress and sickness and move it over here to more joy, to more family, to more expression, to more fulfillment on all levels, and just enjoying our life.
Well, I mean, it's really, the question is, what if we did that? And also the question is, why is it we can't do that? You know, because I think that if we're going to talk about, what the world of possibilities are with the art of powerful love, then we also have to talk about what it means to move from wherever we are, whatever that's feeling like, to a new possibility, right?
Exactly, exactly. So once again, a perfect question. What if it's all about ourselves are unhappy? We've been watching these TV, watching the news, we've watching all the things that are going on in the world, and that comes into us. Everything we see, everything we hear, it comes into our physiology. So our cells, our body, our heart, our soul, our entire being is stressed out. So Dr. Pat, what if we just turned off the TV? What if we spent more time with family? And later on, what I've got is 8 things we can do right now to really enliven ourselves, to bring more happiness, joy, and fulfillment into ourselves. So you let me know when, and I'll be happy to go through that.
Right now. Let's do
All
it.
right, let's do it. Let's do it. So again, our goal here is to fill our cup. If our cup is just this full of love, what if we could just raise it another 10%, 20%, 30%, 80%? What if we could make it so our cup is overflowing with love? Because the whole concept here, Dr. Pat, the more love we have, the more love we can give. So what I'm talking about here is self-care. And we've all heard about self-care and everything else, but now it's time to really do it. Whether it means getting more sleep, taking better care of yourself diet-wise, exercise, whatever it might be. So these are 8 things, and I tried to keep it down to 5, but they keep more and more things kept popping up. But so, number 1, enjoying life's pleasures. So, Dr. Pat, we're human beings. We have a body. And the thing is, when you're eating that peach, enjoy the sensuality of that peach. When you're holding hands with your loved one, feel that. We've all talked about the 3rd dimension, the 4th dimension, and wanting to move into the 5th dimension. But maybe that's just kind of an escapism, wanting to get out of our physicality when we, as a creative being, have these bodies. Let's enjoy them. The second one is seek beauty. And that can be just putting flowers on your dining room table, taking a walk in nature, enjoying a painting, whatever it might be. Bring beauty into your life. It just raises that vibration. The third one is become your own best friend. Dr. Pat, from this moment on, I want everyone, all self-talk is as you're talking to your best friend. You want to try it right now?
Well, I'd like to go through, let's just go through these first, and then I want to circle back.
Okay, cool.
Because, what we have are quite a few of these that are really important. And I would love for everybody that's listening and watching to hear them all and then circle back, because it's time for us to really embody this, right?
Perfect. Okay, the 4th one is to be creative. There is such joy in being creative, whether doing a painting, writing a poem, writing a book, having a baby, whatever it is, find some way to be creative today. The 5th one is share your love, to give, to be filled with love, and then share it with friends, family, someone on the street, and also share your wealth. Give to where there might be need. There's a really wonderful feeling to know that I'm abundant and I can share 10% or whatever the number is that others. The 6th one is cuddle. Any chance you get, hug hug your loved ones, your kids, your spouse, whatever. Just spend as much time as you can, especially in the morning. That does is it makes your cells so happy. And we'll talk about this later. There's research out there that shows that your heart and your whole vascular system becomes healthier the more touch you have with someone else. And we all know that's true. I mean, look at babies. Babies, we know, cannot survive without being held. So adults need that too. And the 7th one is turn off your TV. Tonight, no TV, okay? Everybody, go dancing, go for a swim, go for a walk, whatever it is, but do something that's fun, enlivening, and joyful. And the last one, number 8, appreciate yourself. You are a walking, talking miracle. You have 64 trillion cells in you, give or minus, give or plus, and they all have to act perfectly to keep you healthy and to be grateful for that body that's taking care of you. Maybe it's not working 100%. Maybe you got a little therapy in there, but 99% of it is working perfectly. So be appreciative, be thankful, and just enjoy your life. So those are the first 8, and of course there are many more. And as you mentioned, my book, I have a new book out called For the Love of Joy, and all these are mentioned in that. So if you didn't get there, we can always get that on Amazon.
Well, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we got lots to talk about, because today we're talking about the art of powerful love. Creating a more loving, peaceful, healthy, and abundant world. How can each one of us participate and be part of that? What can we do? How do we contribute? And what is it if we think that we're absolutely not able to contribute? What if the notion of I'm not able to contribute contributes anyway? Let's take a short break. We're going to take a shorty. You're listening to The Art of Powerful Living. We have Facebook Live video for you. You're also listening through our network on Transformation Talk Radio. When we come back, what are the many faces of love? What is it about love? Can you have romantic love and still get into arguments? Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back. I'm Dr. Pat. I'm here with Robert Schoenfeld. This is the Art of Powerful Living Radio. And today, Robert is kind of introducing us to the art of powerful love. Robert, before we jump ahead, please tell folks how they can find out more about you, as well as listen to some of the previous shows, follow you on Facebook, all of the above.
Right. So my website is my name, robertmaxschoenfeld.com. And if you want to see my art, it's schoenfeldart.com. And love to hear from you.
Awesome. So we were talking about the art of powerful love in the first segment, and we were talking about this idea that, look, there are things we can do. And those things, you gave us 8 items, which of course you're going to be putting into a document and share with people later, which is great. But this idea of love, we think about love, we think about world love, we think about global love, but there's part of love that we call romance. And so we don't want to leave that out of the equation. And sometimes we do.
It's true, Jacques. But it's one of the greatest joys of life is to have romantic love. If you can remember back when maybe you're 16, 17, your first time you fell in love, the euphoric feeling. And that's, if we can live with more of that, we all have the ideas of Romeo and Juliet and other ideas of love. Dr. Pat, in your experience, what would you say would be a perfect relationship? Not a perfect relationship, but one that brings in that joy of romance and exhilaration and wonderful love.
I think for me, my life, I've been very fortunate to have somebody very, very close to me in my life. And there is this idea of understanding and friendship that, look, how many of us have been in relationships that are about lust, and love has nothing to do with it? So for me, I want to have the fullness of expression and experience, which knows, 1, I can count on you for being you, and you can count on me. 2, that we're not going to agree on anything. And as a matter of fact, I'm talking about somebody that is so different than me. Oh my gosh, you would think, how are these two even in the same room together? Right? But that's because we have a mutual respect for each other. 3, what it means to me is, if I am in a trench on a battleground, one of those, what do you call them? Foxholes, right? I know I want to have this person with me, and I know that I'm not 100% sure that I'm the person you want to have in the foxhole, because that's probably not my strength. But if in fact you want me to think big for you and help you with your vision and dream, that's me. So I think that when I think about this and I think about this relationship, it is a relationship that's not built on compromise, but that's built on doing things with each other for each other in a spiritual connection as well as a physical one. Now, am I talking about pie in the sky, making up an idea? No, I'm talking about you got to work for this, Robert. You
Exactly.
got to work for this. You got to build a relationship where you've stepped on each other's toes and still agree to be friends.
Exactly. So do you want to hear a wonderful love story?
I'd love to. Yeah.
So this is the story about.
But by the way, let me just say, I got a few stories that I can't say on this show right here. They are like Nightmare on Elm Street relationship stories, but we won't go there.
Okay, this is the other side of the coin.
All right.
So this is the story of my grandparents, Max and Edna Schoenfeld, how they got together, lived for over 70 years together. My grandfather lived to be over 108 years old.
Wow.
And my grandmother in her late 90s. She never told us how old she was. She'd always say, I'm as old as my little finger. They were the cutest couple. Always gave a little kiss before they went to bed at night. Little, kiss on the lips. But here's the story. It's just the cutest story. So my grandfather came to this country in the late 1800s from New York through Chicago to Seattle. And at the age of 42, he thought, might be a good idea to get married. He was financially stable. He started a company with his brothers. And what happened is a nice young gal came out from Chicago to visit one of my grandfather's aunts. And they met. Her name was Edna. And they met twice, just, very casually. And then she went back to Chicago. Nothing said. About 2 months later, he sends her a penny postcard saying, I'm coming to Chicago. I've got business in New York. I'm coming to Chicago. Let's get married. She saw this postcard. She tore it up, didn't think anything of it. Lo and behold, 2 weeks later, he's on his business trip to New York, comes into Chicago, knocks on her door Friday afternoon, getting ready to get married to her. And she had no idea she was coming. Somehow he talked her into going down to the city hall to get the marriage license. They got there about 10 minutes before closing time. There was a big line, but somehow they got to the front of the line and got home that Friday night. Saturday night, they got married. And the next day, they were on the train to Seattle and lived a happy life for 60 years. The most amazing, wonderful couple you'd ever want to meet. So that's just one little love story. It just tickles the heart of how it can work.
But let's talk about the essence of this though, because we're not just talking about love. We're talking about the art of powerful love.
Right.
Okay, and if we forget about that word, then we're going to go to some really bizarro thing like me saying is love is never having to say you're sorry. Whoa, that line to me, you want to talk about love story? Love is never having to say you're sorry. What does that mean, Robert? Does that mean I'm never sorry? Or does that mean that we could just telepathically be okay with the fact that, maybe I mean, what? And so I think in our society, we have these notions that if we could only follow the footprint of your grandparents, my grandparents, they probably were twins. Oh, no. My folks were on the East Coast. But it's the same kind of energy.
Yes, it's true.
This respect for each other, this kindness for each other. My grandfather could count on my grandmother making those meatballs every Sunday. You could see the love in their eyes and in their hearts.
That's right? Exactly. So there's been so much research out there. Harvard did a research study on love, and this talks to your point. So there are 4 things necessary for long-term, and that's what everybody wants is long-term. You don't want to be married for 2 months or 2 years or whatever. What if you could have a lifelong love? So these are 4 points that they came up with, and this is more of a scientific, and we'll talk more about the emotional also too. But they found out that number 1 is that people suspended judgment, and that is negative judgment. There's a part of the brain that actually can be controlled through dopamine that suppresses negative judgment. So they only really saw the beauty and love and joy of their mate. Secondly, these people knew how to control their emotions. They knew how to control their stress. So they had that maturity, that centeredness, that strength. Thirdly, they had empathy, compassion. So they saw the big picture and could have compassion. And fourth, they had a wonderful physical, romantic life. So you put those four things together, and that the research shows that gives you longevity. But let's talk about the power for a second. We've all talked about twin flames and soulmates and things like that. And that possibly is possible, that there is a spiritual connection and there is someone out there, whether you're with them now or with not. And we'll do a meditation later in the next segment where we'll actually connect with that person. But maybe there is a spiritual component to this, that you and I and everyone are designed to be with one special person. And that's where the power comes in, that to be able to find that person, be with that person. The other side of that, though, and I've talked to a lot of people that have met their twin flames and spiritual soulmates, it's not an easy road. We all think that, it's all roses once you find that person. It's not the case. It's a learning experience, a growing experience, and it can be very, very powerful. And that's what we're here for.
Well, Robert, I want to ask you this question, though, because one of the things I neglected to leave out, and I'm sure that your grandparents fit in this, is, you know what I realized about the relationship I just described? That I can be honest and forthright and want to be able to be open and truthful and never have to worry about a repercussion. That somehow, there is a connection that we have where we honor the dignity of the human spirit. And, the question really is, how do we learn that and get through the tough times? Because your grandparents, my grandparents, and me as well, you as well, we've gone through some hard times in our lives. That doesn't negate the fact that we have an ability to express powerful love. When we come back, Robert's going to take us through a meditation to get us into the space where we can honor and be present for the love around us. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back, everyone. Hey, everybody, welcome back. Yeah, this is The Art of Powerful Living, and Robert Schoenfeld joining me here today. The other part of this is, Robert's created an incredible series for everyone to kind of take a look at. And each time we do a show as part of the series, we're going through and we're looking at what the art of powerful living means. Today, Robert, you're featuring the art of powerful love. And as we talked about last time, there was the art of powerful joy. But before we jump ahead again, how can people get a copy of your book? I think that's important for us to do. And then tell us a little bit about the meditation you're getting ready to lead.
Excellent.
Sure.
So the book is titled For the Love of Joy, and it's a 30-day program to bring more happiness, love, and joy, and abundance and health into your life. Amazon has it. That's the best place to find it. Please email me after you read it. Let me know how you enjoy it. And you can always find me at my website, robertmacschoenfeld.com. So the meditation we're going to do now is going to be wonderful. I want to give you a gift so that you can actually experience some of this love, some of this joy, some of this beauty, so that you go out today, hopefully glowing, so that the rest of your day is not, we're not going to say a miracle and overabundant, but let's get a taste of what that joy and that love can be. So only do this if it's safe to do so, because we're going to be closing our eyes. If you're driving, see if you can pull over or go someplace safe, and try not to be disturbed for the next 6 to 8 minutes. And see if we can fill ourselves with a little more happiness, a little more joy, and just really see if we can carry this through our day. So if it's easy for you to do, just sit comfortably. Let's close our eyes. Take a breath in. And breath out. And just center yourself. Let's go ahead and ground ourselves. Breath in. And breath out. And now open the channel to the highest heavens. And breathe that light in. Filling your entire body with that love and that joy and that light. And breathe out. And now to get that feeling of love and that joy, visualize yourself holding a little 3-month-old baby. And that baby's looking up at you and smiling. Breathe that love in. And breathe out. Once again, let's breathe that love, that beautiful joy, that love, that little baby. Breathe it into our heart. Breathe out. And once again, let's breathe that into all of our cells, that beautiful love. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now, the next breath, let's breathe into our brain so that every cell, every thought is filled with this love and this light, this joy. Let's breathe in. Let's breathe out. And now all your senses, your eyes, your ears, the sense of touch, smell, and taste. Breathe in that love. Breathe out. And now breathe into all your bones, giving you strength, and your muscles, giving you vitality. Breathe in. And breathe out. And now what we're going to do is sense some of that love, because we're filled with that love now. Every cell now is lit up with that love. Your brain, your senses, all your organs, your blood, every part of your being is filled with that love. Even your soul and your higher self is filled and glowing with love. Now we're going to send love to your mate. Breathe in. And just feel them receiving that love. And now we're going to send love to your family, any children you may have, any relatives. Breathe in. Breathe out. And now what we're going to do is we're going to find ways to bring more light and love to this whole world. And we're going to start with all of our leaders, our political leaders, our law enforcement, our military, anybody that's in a leadership role, our teachers. Breathe in that love. And as you breathe out, send that love to all of our leaders. May they have wisdom, love, integrity, and gratitude. And now with the next breath, we're going to send out love to all life on earth. Breathe in. And send that love out to all life on earth. And just feel the joy of that. All 7 billion people, all animals, all nature, glowing with love. And this love is permanent, and it's growing. Breathe in. Breathe out. And now we're going to send love to the creator of the universe. With love and gratitude, breathe in. Breathe out. Now, with great gratitude, great thanks, breathe in that light of God, feeling your whole essence with that light, that love, and making it permanent. Every cell now is permanently charged with this light, this love. Your cup is now overflowing, filled with joy, love, health, abundance, wisdom, fulfillment. Breathe out. And now we're going to center that love back into ourselves so that every part of ourselves, as we go through our day and for the rest of our lives, is filled with this love. Feeling the power, feeling the grace, feeling totally centered and appreciative. Breathe in. Yeah. A couple more breaths in, just to anchor this. And just feel this. There may be a small smile coming to your face. And just a centered joy. Strong, powerful joy. Breathe in. Breathe out. And one more time in. And out. And now to kind of come back, you can rub your hands together a little bit. Pat your legs. And when you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes. And as you open your eyes, feel the power of the 30,000 plus people that are listening to this. All of us doing this at one time. Sending our love to every cell in our body and to all life on earth. Feel that power, feel that joy, and feel that now the world is different because of what we just did here. And if we can do this every day, how our lives could change, how the lives of all life could change. Welcome back.
Thank you, Robert. Let's take a short break, everyone. When we come back, we'll be talking about bringing the art of powerful love to create a better world. We'll be right back. Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Dr. Pat. I'm joined here by Robert Schoenfeld, and we are talking about the art of powerful love. So for those of you out there, if you want to find, Robert, what's the best way for people to find out more about your art?
The artwork can be seen on my website, and that website is schoenfeldart.com, and I have a full selection of my new paintings on it.
Awesome. So thank you for the meditation. That was beautiful, beautiful. This segment we're talking about how do we bring the art of powerful love into everyday life? And I know you've got some things to talk about. How we show up, what we can do, how we can be in this life. What is it that you've learned along the way in creating this to help people infuse their lives with the art of powerful love every day?
Beautiful, Dr. Pat. Again, it starts, and let me just back up. Dr. Pat, everybody that's listening here, I know is very advanced and has done a lot of homework. They've really worked on themselves. But we're going through a very special time right now. And this eclipse we just had yesterday, I think is part of that transition. Mm-hmm. And also we have a new moon now. And whenever there's a new moon, there's always opportunity to growth. Every day the moon gets larger, and there's a strength and a power we can work with here. But my whole concept here is how do we create happiness, love, and joy in our own selves. And by doing that, glowing this love and this joy and radiating it out to the world. So the whole concept here is, by doing that, what if we could have more health, more happiness, more love, have better relationships, just by only turning that switch on in ourselves? A very cute story of using this wisdom, this creativity, this power of love and gratitude was the story of Thomas Edison. I don't know if you saw this video that went through, but it showed Thomas Edison at a very young age. And Thomas Edison was the greatest inventor of our time in the last century. He invented the light bulb, the photograph, the movie pictures, and thousands of other inventions. Just a brilliant, brilliant man. At a very young age, he came home with a note from his teacher, and the teacher said, "Let only your mother read this note." So he handed it to his mom, and she read the note. And so he goes, "Mom, what did the note say?" And the note says, "Your son is a genius. We do not have the ability to teach your son anymore. Please teach, at this school, please teach your son yourself." And so she did, until she passed away. And he went on to, like I said, to be one of the greatest scientists and inventors of all time. Many years later, in his old age, he went through her old things, and he came across that paper.
Oh,
50 years later, he opened it up, and you know what it said? It says, "Your son is mentally deficient. He cannot come back to this school anymore. We do not have the resources or the ability to help him. Teach him yourself." It changed the whole world by her using her love, her wisdom, her creativity, and then taking action. And Dr. Pat, taking action is so important.
yeah.
The first thing, of course, is to have the wisdom, to have the love, to have the gratitude, and then go out and share it with the world. So my whole message to everybody here, fill your own cup up first. Just like we talk on the airlines, where put your own oxygen mask on first, and then go out and help everyone. So if we can find ways, techniques, and like I mentioned, many of these techniques are in my book, to fill yourself with this love, this joy, this compassion, this wisdom, and then go and just shine it. What if, Dr. Pat, just by you walking down the street or sitting on a bench, heal the world? That's what we're after here. That's the goal.
Well, part of this is, and you can go back thousands and thousands and thousands of years. I don't care how far back you go. Talk about, multiple philosophies around the world of spirituality, and what you'll find across the board is that they all say you must do something. You must be out in the world, and there is sort of this idea that here we are, we put one foot in front of the other, and faith by itself or trust by itself doesn't necessarily get the laundry done. And some days you have to do the laundry, Robert, right?
Exactly. Wash those dishes. Exactly. Yeah. And it's not, and once again, what I was talking about earlier, we're in human bodies, and human bodies have pleasure and pain and stress, and sometimes we're successful, sometimes we're not. That's all part of the process.
Mm-hmm.
What if we could enjoy all sides of it? Being stuck in traffic. What if, we're all stressed, we're late for an appointment. What if we could turn that around and, find a message, find a way, maybe your next mission is to find a way to resolve the traffic jams in downtown Seattle.
Right. I mean, because a lot of this too is, and I got this feedback from, many of our listeners about the eclipse. And there was a point in time yesterday, and I don't have any scientific evidence about this, but there was a point in time in the afternoon, at least the afternoon on the Pacific time, which is later in the day on the East Coast. But there was this point in time where stories of people feeling overwhelmed emotionally. And, we're hearing story after story where, for no reason, say, they're being brought to this full expression, almost tears of gratitude, really an interesting phenomenon, interesting feeling. And sometimes we are really being asked to just be with that. not to be of it, not to be doing something other than just be with it. Love is kind of like that, isn't it?
It really, really is. Sometimes we're always out there seeking love. What if we could just be love?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we're always out there seeking happiness. What if we could just be happiness?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sometimes we're seeking forgiveness. What if we could just be forgiveness? You're right, Dr. Pat, just being. But let me take another point with that, which you were just talking about, the eclipse. I think what people were in is the wow factor.
Yeah.
When you stop and look at life and how much of a miracle life is, it's a wow, and that brings happiness and love. When you just look at the miracle this life is, and this beautiful planet is, that alone can bring you love. But you have to pause, you have to meditate, you have to reflect, and journaling is one wonderful way to do that. So what I recommend to everybody, spend 5 minutes in the morning when you first wake up in love, whether it's cuddling yourself, cuddling your partner, being in gratitude. The second 5 minutes of your day, journaling. What are you grateful for? What do you want to accomplish this day? And what can you do to bring more love into yourself, into your own life, and into other people's lives? And then go out and make it happen. Wouldn't that be a wonderful way to start the day?
It is a wonderful way. And I think the thing that's so important to remember too is the power of laughter.
Yes.
Sometimes things are just funny. They're really, really just funny. Jessica and I were doing a Facebook Live of the eclipse yesterday, and, we were sitting out in the back, and I've got these 2 plastic flamingos, and somebody texted me and said, "What the heck are what are those?" In the middle of this beautiful yard and whatever. Are those plastic flamingos? And I said, yeah, absolutely are plastic flamingos. And they're like, why? And I said, well, in the world we live in, anytime that I need to smile, I take a look outside and I look at these 2 plastic flamingos, if you might. We look at them in fully expression of what they are. They're simply there to help me remember to smile.
Beautiful.
And I think that's part of the important message of love. I want to get back to that famous line, love is never having to say you're sorry. I don't know if anybody ever figured out what that line in that movie really meant. When you think about it, right?
Yeah.
What is the message for us today, Robert? What's the personal message? What is it that we can leave everyone with today?
Beautiful, beautiful. It's like Einstein said, there's 2 ways to go through life. Feeling that the universe is friendly or the universe is not friendly. It's a choice. Love is a choice. The universe is friendly. And all we have to do is focus on that. Create that happiness in your life, and then go out and share it. My recommendation to everybody tonight, turn off your TV and go dancing.
Oh, go dancing?
Go dancing.
Okay, so for me, it's like turn off your TV and let's go play some ping pong.
That's it.
That would be a happy moment
I love
for all of us out here. Robert, again, how can they get a copy of your book, For the Love of Joy? Tell folks how they can do that. Also, what's the best way to get in contact with you as part of the Art of Powerful Living coaching program?
Exactly. So Amazon.com, best place to find the book. And my email, it's very easy. It's robert@robertmaxschoenfeld.com.
Well, I want to thank all of you out there for tuning us in and turning us on. I want to thank Christina for all the images. What a great job. Benny for pushing all the right buttons. And for those of you that want to find out more about us, you can certainly go to the drpatshow.com, or you can go to transformationtalkradio.com. And what are we doing next? Are we going to keep that like a little mystery here, Robert?
Let's keep it a mystery, but it'll be very, very joyous, whatever it's going to be.
All right, everybody, and make sure you check it out, theartofpowerfulliving.com. I'm Dr. Pat, Robert Schoenfeld, and we will see you next time.
You've been listening to the Art of Powerful Living Radio with Robert Schoenfeld and Dr. Pat Baccili. Powerful living doesn't stop here. Join the billions of people around the world in a global moment of joy. Visit globalmomentofjoy.com and discover love, beauty, joy, and happiness because Robert knows you deserve it. And be sure to tune in once a month with Robert Schoenfeld and Dr. Pat Basile for the Art of Powerful Living Radio.
The preceding audio was via a Skype call.